Steve was only 25, but he had already achieved what most people only dream about: $10 million in the bank, a penthouse overlooking the city, and the freedom to do whatever he wanted. But behind the glossy Instagram photos, something was missing. Why would someone with everything feel so empty? Stay with me. This story might change how you see success. Growing up in a quiet suburb, Steve was always the kid with big dreams and an even bigger drive. He spent his teenage years building websites, skipping parties to code late into the night. By 19, he'd launched his first startup, and within a few years, his relentless work ethic paid off. Investors lined up, the media called him a prodigy, and his bank account soared. Yet as his world expanded, so did the distance between him and the people he once cared about. Steve's life looked perfect from the outside, but inside, he was starting to wonder if all this success was really worth the cost. At 25, Steve had everything he thought he wanted: luxury cars, exclusive parties, first-class flights, and a constant stream of congratulations from people he barely knew. But the more he achieved, the more he felt something slipping away. Nights blurred into mornings as he worked endlessly, chasing the next big milestone. Old friends stopped calling, family gatherings became rare, and every new purchase brought only a fleeting sense of satisfaction. He often caught himself staring at the city lights from his penthouse, asking, "Is this all there is?" The applause was loud, but the silence when he was alone was even louder. Have you ever reached a goal and felt emptier than before? That's where Steve found himself, surrounded by everything, yet feeling like he had nothing at all. The emptiness grew heavier with each passing day. Steve's calendar was packed, but his life felt hollow. He scrolled through endless messages and notifications, but none of them filled the quiet ache inside. Anxiety crept in, making sleep elusive and mornings harder. He tried to fill the void with new gadgets, expensive dinners, and quick trips to exotic places, but the excitement faded almost as soon as it began. The more he tried to buy happiness, the more isolated he felt. Deep down, Steve wondered if anyone really knew him anymore, or if he even knew himself. The success he'd worked so hard for now felt like a cage, and he couldn't shake the fear that he'd traded real connection for an illusion of achievement. One night, after another restless evening alone, Steve reached a breaking point. The city lights outside his window felt colder than ever, and the silence in his apartment was overwhelming. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he called an old friend he hadn't spoken to in years. Their conversation was honest and raw, no talk of money, just memories and laughter from simpler times. For the first time in ages, Steve felt seen. It hit him. All the money in the world couldn't buy back lost time or genuine connection. That realization shook him, forcing Steve to question everything he thought he knew about success and happiness. Determined to find something deeper, Steve began to make changes. He started small, reaching out to family, reconnecting with friends, and spending time away from his screens. He volunteered at local events, mentored young entrepreneurs, and rediscovered old hobbies that once brought him joy. Slowly, the emptiness began to fade, replaced by a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. Steve realized that true wealth wasn't measured by his bank account, but by the quality of his relationships and the meaning he found in everyday moments. For the first time, he felt genuinely fulfilled, not because of what he owned, but because of who he was becoming. So what does Steve's story really teach us? It's easy to believe that more money will solve everything, but real happiness comes from something deeper. Steve's journey shows that success without meaning can leave you feeling lost, no matter how much you achieve. Take a moment to ask yourself, what are you really chasing? If this story made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, true wealth is about living a life that feels rich on the inside.